if you're not sure what the difference is between the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite and the Tab S6 Lite, well, today we're gonna break down everything to show you whether it's a big upgrade or if the Tab S6 Lite is still good enough for most people. Price-wise, these are the two most affordable tablets from Samsung. That includes the S Pen at $350 for the Tab S10 Lite and even less for the S6 Lite. One advantage for the Tab S10 Lite is it starts with 128 gigabytes of storage versus only 64 for the S6 Lite, and the S10 goes up to 256 gigabytes versus 128 for the S6 Lite. You also get 2 more gigabytes of RAM for the base model, taking it from 4 up to 6 gigabytes on the S10 Lite. You can also use a micro SD card on both of these tablets to expand the storage. You also get a few different color options for both tablets, which is nice to always have options. You will notice the older Tab S6 Lite is easier to handle because of the smaller size. It's lighter at about 465 grams versus 524 for the S10 Lite. You'll also notice on the S10 Lite, it's got pogo pins on the bottom for accessories where you didn't have that on the Tab S6 Lite. The Tab S10 Lite has a 10.9 inch display versus 10.4 on the S6 Lite. I also like how the edges are more rounded on the S6 Lite, kind of like the older style of Samsung tablets. But then on the S10 Lite, you've got a higher refresh rate at 90 Hz versus 60 Hz for the S6 Lite. You can see in person the S10 Lite has better viewing angles, and luckily they seem to have fixed the screen bleed issues that I had on my S6 Lite. But surprisingly, it's actually closer than you would think when you see the screens next to each other. So if you want the tablet with better screen quality, the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite is the clear winner in this category. Even though you've got a larger battery in the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite, when I ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, they both lasted around 7.5 hours. Just keep in mind the display is a little bit brighter on the S10 Lite, so if you turn that down, it should last longer than the S6 Lite. Either way, you get pretty good battery life regardless of which one you go with. You also get up to 25 watt charging with the S10 Lite versus only 15 watts on the S6 Lite. When it comes to software, you can see they're going to be pretty similar, only small differences here and there. They both have Samsung DeX, and then you have most of your typical stuff like the Edge panel over on the side, Samsung Free left of the home screen, or Samsung News. Same thing, they just always change the name for some reason. Unfortunately, you're not going to get video out either of these, where you can just use an HDMI adapter to connect to a projector, TV, or external monitor. But of course, you can still do it wirelessly. You're also going to get more AI features on the S10 Lite. Not sure how important that's going to be for most people, but one big advantage for the S10 Lite is you're going to get 7 years of software updates, which you don't get on the S6 Lite or from any other company really. So I could see some people going with the S10 Lite just for software updates alone. You only have Wi-Fi 5 on the S6 Lite, Wi-Fi 6 on the S10 Lite. Nice thing is you get the S Pen included for both of these, which is actually pretty nice. You don't have to charge either one, and you can just attach them right to the side when you're not using them. Definitely one of the best ways to draw, take notes, or just move around the software. And I think it's something that most tablets should include. Performance-wise, you're going to notice a nice increase going from the S6 Lite that has the Exynos 1280 to the S10 Lite that has the Exynos 1380 processor. As you can see by the benchmark results, it's also nice that you've got that extra 2 gigabytes of RAM on the S10 Lite, which is definitely going to help a year or two down the road. After you have a lot of stuff on your tablet, it should just help it from slowing down as much. I feel like both of these are good options to do some light gaming as well. It's pretty easy to reach things on the screen. You can't really go wrong with either one in my opinion, but if you want the tablet with better performance, the S10 Lite is the clear winner in this category. Now when it comes to speakers, you've got one on each side with Dolby Atmos for both of these. One advantage for the Tab S6 Lite is you have a headphone jack, which you don't really see as much anymore. I guess they had to get rid of that on the S10 Lite to make it look more modern. I know most people are probably going to be using Bluetooth headphones, but it's always nice to have the headphone jack as a backup, or if you're just traveling on a trip and you don't want to have to worry about charging headphones. To me, the speakers aren't really that loud on these two, but I think once you put them next to each other, the S10 Lite sounds a little bit better overall, but here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of how they compare. When it comes to cameras, not really much has changed. You've still got a 5 megapixel on the front, 8 megapixel on the back on both of these. You can also shoot up to 1080p resolution for video recording. I think you could use either one in a pinch. Obviously, the quality is not going to be as good as your cell phone, but here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of how they compare. I think overall the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite is definitely an upgrade over the Tab S6 Lite. It's got better performance, a smoother screen, faster charging, and much longer software support. The Tab S6 Lite does have a slight advantage for anyone that's looking for a headphone jack, but I can't imagine there's too many people that should choose the S6 Lite over the S10 Lite. Unless there's a really good sale during holidays or something like that, then I think that might make some sense for some people. If you like tablets, I've got a lot more comparisons that I'm working on as usual, not to mention phones and other tech as well, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.